Hey guys, it's Heidi. I know it has been so long since I made a video, but truth is it's mostly because I don't have storage on my phone, and I don't have a camera or anything like that, obviously. But in this video, I just kind of wanted to update you on where I'm at. I think in the last video I was talking about like job stuff and school stuff and relationship stuff. So I kind of just wanted to update you on that and talk about other stuff in my life. So I do actually have a job. I got a job last summer. I work at a kids museum by myself on the weekends. Talk about perfect job for me. It's great. I love it. I look forward to it mostly every weekend. I work in customer service, but because it's at a kids museum, I mostly deal with like parents and stuff like that and elderly people, and I really love elderly people. So and working with that population is really nice, and working with families is fun for me. So I really enjoy it, and the fact that I don't have to deal with like coworkers and stuff is really great, because I find that challenging. That was my cat's tail. So that's been great, and it pays pretty well, even though I only work 2 days a week, because I'm also a student on top of that. And I actually just started school last week. I was going to do sorry, my cat is sticking his face in a cup, but I was going to do a full-time schedule, but I ended up switching to a part-time schedule. So I was going to do like 14 or 15 credits. I'm down to 10 credits because it was too much for me. Anyone who's been in college knows just how hard it can be to like manage life on top of school, and that was what I was struggling with. So yeah, going part-time has been good. It's still overwhelming because I did actually take this last fall semester off to deal with my mental health. I ended up going to a partial hospitalization and intensive outpatient program, and that actually really helped. I was in a really dark place in like August, October area, and just couldn't deal with school. I was having physical health problems. I was having mental health problems. Like I just couldn't deal with everything, It was just too much for me, and I needed to cut something out. And the easiest thing to cut out was school. So I cut out school, and I was extremely hesitant about it. Like I cannot even tell you. It was such a hard decision for me. But that's my cat in the background scratching on the scratcher, but I cannot even tell you how big of a decision that was for me. It took me like 2 weeks to decide to do it, but it ended up being the right decision for me, and anyone out there struggling with that, I hear you, but at the end of the day, the thing that made me end up deciding to quit school first semester and go to treatment was I couldn't see a long-term future for myself continuing the way I was continuing. I was just in such a dark place. I didn't want to live my life every day, and that's a really scary feeling for anyone who's experienced it. And I just realized that I couldn't continue on this way, and going to treatment was the best decision for me. I feel like I have so much more of a skill base. I had this like thick notebook in the kitchen of skills that I learned, and I met so many good people there, and I made so many friends, and definitely the right decision for me. So if you're struggling with that, just think of what you want for your future, and even if you can't think about the future long term, just think about in the next couple of months, like, can you continue on the way you are continuing on? And every decision has consequences, even good decisions, like should you take that trip to Mexico? Like that's a great decision, but also like it might make you behind on schoolwork. It could make you behind on your work. It could damage some familial relationships or a partnership with someone. But at the same time, you'll probably have a great time in Mexico, and you'll probably make new friends and new experiences, So every decision has consequences. And it just takes thinking about what consequences you're willing to accept in the decision that you make. You know, where do you want to put your energy? Where do you want to put your mindset? And yeah, it's just really important to think about. So yeah, started school. My class actually got canceled today, so that's why I'm not there. It's Tuesday currently for me. Let's see, what else is new? Well, I'm in an apartment. I think last time I spoke, I was in my dorm still. I'm in an apartment. I live with my partner now. Yeah, super cool. It's been good. We've been living together since May of 2023. And now it is January of 2024. So it's been good. I was extremely hesitant to move in with them, but it ended up working out, I think. And I feel like our relationship is a lot stronger now. Yeah, on a daily basis, I still struggle a lot with my mental health. You know, I mean, I feel like it's not a journey that stops, but in some ways, I feel like it's getting easier. In other ways, I feel like it's harder, but I also feel like that's just, you know, young adulthood that I'm in currently. I feel like the things that I struggle with the most on a daily basis is actively using coping skills in the ways that I know they work, and stepping out of my comfort zone to try new ones and like push myself, and you know, it's hard. But like I said earlier, you know, going to treatment really helped with that, and I feel like I definitely wouldn't be in the place I am now, you know, being able to talk about this stuff and being able to, you know, be where I am in life and be back in school without treatment. So yeah, I feel like the things I've become better at through treatment have been knowing what skills to use when. That was a skill I didn't realize I like didn't have. But I really struggled before treatment with knowing what skills I needed in a crisis or before a crisis, you know. But I feel like, you know, when I'm spiraling with my OCD, like I know now that I need to regulate my body. And when I'm spiraling with PTSD, I know that I need to regulate my body and then process some of the trauma, you know. And when I'm struggling with anxiety, I know that I need to regulate my body and then focus on something else and distract myself, you know, those type of things. And I feel like I didn't really have that skill set before, and that has really helped and honestly gave me a lot of confidence, you know. I also, before treatment, didn't have confidence in myself to cope at all. Everything just felt so overwhelming, like this just overwhelming cloud of suffering and pain and emotional instability. Now I feel like it's kind of just like my buddy, you know. I feel like I just kind of deal with these things instead of having it like control my whole life. One thing that's actually really helped me maintain stability is engaging in hobbies on a regular basis, you know. And I'm not perfect at it, but it's something I'm striving towards, you know, incorporating reading into my life, incorporating just watching shows, you know, into my life, because something that is just so sad to me and so real for so many people is depression takes hobbies from you, you know. Depression takes joy from you. And it in the fall last year, it really took my love for movies and my love for shows. And I know for some people you might be thinking like, that's not really a hobby, like what do you mean, like, but for me it was, you know. For me, movie watching was a way for me to escape, and it was a way for me to think critically, you know, in documentaries or in mind-bending movies and mind-bending shows, and in shows and movies that, you know, made me like think critically about the world and think critically about myself. And also just like fun shows, you know, vampire shows. Love me a good vampire show. Those cringy shows, love them. They're just so fun. But depression just took that away from me. And so when I had reached a point in treatment where I was like less depressed, and I didn't even realize it really, it kind of just crept up on me, but I was like, I kind of want to watch a show. And then as I was watching it, I was like, I haven't done this in like 4 months, 4 or 5 months, you know what I mean? yeah, so that has really helped me, just incorporating hobbies into my daily life. And I'm really grateful for that now. I don't take that for, I don't take that, what's the phrase? I don't take that for vantage. I don't take that for advantage. Okay, whatever. Ignore my brain fog, please. But yeah, that's been great. Something I am really struggling with still, and treatment didn't really help because it wasn't targeted towards this, is my fear of vomiting, but not for myself. I mean, kind of for myself, but my fear of like sickness in general. My partner, who I love dearly, has some chronic stomach problems, you know, and something that I really struggle with is the anxiety and the OCD I have around like them getting sick. You know, even if they just have a cold, my OCD all of a sudden is like, they're gonna die, they're gonna end up in the hospital, they're gonna be gone, they're leaving you, you're gonna have to take care of them, you're gonna have no one. Like, and like my brain just spirals so hard into just like the absolute worst case scenario you could ever imagine is happening. It's happening right now. Like, don't even think about anything else, you know? And anyone that's experienced that type of stuff, like, leave a comment, because I feel probably alone in that. And I know a lot of people have like emetophobia, especially like towards themselves, you know, like they don't want to throw up. And I have that to a certain extent, but it's worse for other people. You know, I'm always worried about other people throwing up, other people getting sick. And it's just like, for what? For what? In what scenario is that my problem? You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, my OCD cannot get it out of its obsessive little freaking brain. So that's something I'm still really struggling with. Currently trying to find a therapist that specializes in like chronic illnesses and trauma and OCD, because those are my biggest problems right now. But we'll see. I did just email a therapist yesterday that specializes in chronic illness, chronic pain, depression, anxiety, and trauma. So, but my problem is like, I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but I have so many problems that like I can't find a therapist to accommodate them all. Who knew that was going to be an issue? Who talks about that? Literally never heard anyone talk about that. But I'm so severely mentally ill. I need like 3 therapists for different things. I need someone for trauma, I need someone for chronic illness, and I need someone for OCD. Because I have yet to find anyone that specializes in that, which is just really frustrating, you know? And I think about this a lot because I'm like, we have multiple doctors that specialize in things, right? Like cardiology, neurology, urology, you know, all these things. But like, why is it that we only have one therapist? I mean, I know that some people don't, but I feel like I only hear that talked about in like severe cases of like inpatient, you know, where it's like you have a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, one that specializes in trauma, one that's managing your OCD. But like in real life, why is that not applicable? And also, would insurance cover that? Would insurance cover that? The answer's probably no. The answer's probably no, because insurance doesn't like to cover anything. I love insurance. I love insurance. Yeah, insurance causes like the bane of my existence on a daily basis. It sucks. But dude, seriously, and I know everyone watching this is like, insurance does suck. Horrible. Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap up the video. We're coming up on like 15-ish minutes. Sorry, it was kind of just like a word vomit, but I didn't really know what to make a video on, so please let me know what you want a video on. I have more storage on my iPad and more storage on my phone, so guess who can make videos? Me, this person right here. So please leave any video ideas, anything you want me to talk about myself, any questions you have. Would love to just talk more about stuff, you know, make you guys feel less alone, because you're not alone. You know, if anyone on the internet tells you anything different, they're liars. You're not alone in this. You're not alone in your fight. I'm right here across the screen, you know? And even though we're long distance, I can feel you in my heart. So leave any video suggestions, leave any comments for me, And yeah, I love you guys. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, and stay safe and sane out there.